Wow. I don't know if he heard you, Mary.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Dennis, are you flying out tonight then?
No, no, no. I've been in Chicago for 3 or 4 days visiting my son, and won't be coming back until Saturday. So
Oh, I
I
see.
won't be able to join you tomorrow.
So you're in Chicago now. Got it. Okay.
Right, in the burbs, yeah.
In the burbs.
All right, we're recording. So, with no further ado, then, are there any other questions, statements that one would like to make?
Accusations?
Accusations. Wait,
But
don't get me involved in that.
question, do we have the annual board election coming up?
Yeah,
Do we want to make
I
an
will.
reminder?
I can't. Uh, tonight's the magic date. The people who are eligible to vote are people that are members in good standing as of the September workshop. So tomorrow I will finish off the ballots, and in the very early hours of October 1st, if you're in good standing, you'll see an email from that you follow the link to go and vote. And in between, I'll be doing a separate blast email with instructions and notes, information. So that'll all happen in the next 3 or 4 days.
Thank you, Bob.
Excellent. Thank you for doing all that. Any questions? Statements?
Bev has,
Accusations? Yes.
oh, this is an impossible question, probably. I really hadn't thought about buying a new phone. I have a 14 Pro. And then I've been listening to some instructional classes and talking about AI, and so it's kind of making me think, fear of missing out. So I'm wondering if I take any major trips next year, it might be nice to have a better camera, though the 14 is decent enough. But is there anything in the pipeline or the rumor mills that like the 18 is going to be that? I mean, sometimes the adjacent years are fairly similar, and then sometimes it seems like they make bigger progress. Is there any sense of that one should maybe wait for 18, or is 17 kind of arrived?
This is it's like a TikTok cycle. Every 2 years, the iPhone receives a significant form factor upgrade has been the pattern. So about every 2 years. This is the year of the significant upgrade.
Okay.
So I suspect that next year's form factor will be pretty much identical to this year's with some internal speed bumps, faster processor or a better camera sensor or something. But I think this one that just got unveiled is for 2 years, you're going to see this form factor be the dominant form factor. So I think now's the time to upgrade if you're ready. And you made a good point about like the camera. The camera is probably the most compelling reason to upgrade. Is the camera has gotten that much better over the years, and this latest is quite remarkable. In terms of AI and stuff like that, the heavy lift of AI is done by the server side of the AI company. So like if you're using ChatGPT, they built these huge server farms, and so all the heavy lift of the AI request goes to those server farms and not on your phone. So your AI experience will probably be the same across old phones versus new phones, but I think you nailed the most important reason probably to upgrade is the camera.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, the class, it was an iPhone class, or the one that, I don't know, they had the magazine. I have the name kind of wrong, and they put out daily tips. But they had iOS or the 26, and they were talking about the changes on the phone and also messages and a couple of things. But they said if the phone, there was something where you could identify, and I'm sorry, I'm just bad with describing things, that the phone would actually go to ChatGPT, but Apple has done something to where it's kind of a special channel to ChatGPT, maintaining more privacy when one's in the certain applications where Apple takes you to ChatGPT. Actually, I thought,
Yeah, it's kind of infuriating. Apple put in this sort of stopgap where they say, "Oh, you want to talk to ChatGPT? Okay, you got to go through us. You sort of can't just talk directly to ChatGPT or connect directly into ChatGPT through Apple's built-in AI features. If you want to make ChatGPT the default app for your action button, or there are no limits to what you can do with AI on your phone. But however, Apple has built in some guardrails in their in iOS that sort of protect you from yourself in terms of AI. It's something I'm really frustrated with. I don't like Apple's implementation of AI in iOS at all. I don't think they satisfied our demand, the consumer demand. I think they have much more left to do before they can check their box of AI, that they offer AI. Because you really, I would say that it's a non-issue. Apple's iOS AI is almost non-existent in terms of large language models and that sort of thing.
okay.
Mary, check your mail.
Thank you, I will. And Elaine, I'm sending you a message.
Pete has a question, McDonald.
Yes, okay, Pete.
You're muted. Oh, there you go.
Oh, I have a question. I have a iPhone 15 and a MacBook Pro. Each one for the power plug into the socket is a different size. Does it matter? Can I use either cord to charge either device? Or does it have to be with the device that came with that unit?
Oh, you're saying the brick that plugs into the wall is a different size. Yeah, they're all USB-C. So you can use USB-C to charge either you could use your laptop charger on your phone or your phone charger on your laptop. Obviously, the power requirements for each are a bit different. The laptop requires more power to charge the battery than the phone does. So your phone's
As long as they're both 15 watts or 15 or higher. It's some of the old bricks were only 10.
Yeah, so
The main thing is I didn't want to destroy either one. I probably should just use the one that it came with. That would settle that. Thank you.
yeah, you certainly can, but they've also built them so you don't destroy them. They've made them so if you do happen to plug your MacBook Pro charger into your iPhone, it's not going to destroy it. It'll just accept what charge that it can. So yeah, you're safe.
He's trying to say they're self-regulating.
Yeah, they won't just burn out your device. Okay, what else?
I have a question. This
Go,
is,
go ahead.
yes, I've been reading about File Vault and the open key and all those kinds of complex questions. I checked my settings and I had not turned on File Vault and I have not yet updated. Do I understand it will automatically turn on when I update? Do I get to choose whether to receive the key or not receive the key? Any input, commentary, etc. Thank you.
Yeah, that's let's see. File Vault is a property that exists on Mac OS, and it is an encryption property, so it will encrypt your files, and it's a very secure encryption. So Yeah, I don't think that it'll turn on automatically after an update per se. You may have to go into your settings and update, tell it that you want File Vault to be turned on. Just as a side note, I never turned on File Vault as a Mac OS user. I never used it. There's already very strong encryption on your MacBook Pro, and File Vault is really for I think it's for those enterprise type applications where you have a job that requires the highest level of security and they need to be able to switch, have a kill switch on the back end to nuke the contents of your laptop and stuff. But yeah, I don't. You may not need File Vault unless you really feel strongly about having that extra layer of security. But yeah, it wasn't something that I ever felt the need to turn on.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay, any other hands up?
This is amazing. There's usually a lot.
Not seen any at this point.
Well, I have another question if other people aren't jumping in.
Sure.
Give them a minute, yeah.
So I have a MacBook Air with two USB-C inputs, and it seems like only one of them is working properly. The computer doesn't necessarily charge, or the things I plug into it to get charged through the computer don't seem to necessarily charge. But I haven't noticed this long enough to see if there's really a pattern. Do those input spots go bad? And would that be covered under AppleCare, which I have?
Yeah, good question. Yeah. A USB-C port, which is what you're referring to, could certainly go bad, I think. That is a possibility. But it also, one thing I want to call out here is that not all of those ports have an equal amount of power in them. Some of them have a very tiny lightning bolt silk screen right next to it. If you look very closely at the port, you may see a little lightning bolt. But they are not all created equal. Some of them have more power running through them than others. Some of them are Thunderbolt ports. Some of them are USB-C high-speed ports. So it could just be that the two ports you're referring to have different output speeds, I suspect.
And I understand with the, I guess it's Tahoe update, FireWire will no longer be supported.
Yeah, FireWire is more of a hardware than a software. It is a particular shaped plug with a number of pins in it that transfers data at a consistent speed. Those hardware configurations won't be supported anymore, but you probably don't have any hardware devices that are connected via FireWire anymore, although we all did at one point, that's for sure.
Again, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Thomas, should I go through the keynote that Al put together?
Absolutely. That sounds wonderful.
All right. Al couldn't be with us tonight because he is not feeling well. So I am going to attempt to walk through the keynote that he put together. And I know Al pretty well, so I should be able to keep up with his cues and stuff, but forgive me if I...
Before you start that,
Yeah.
something was clicking in my brain, so I just looked it up. In Tahoe, guess what? It says File Vault's a disk encryption feature that is turned on by default when you sign in with an Apple account during setup.
Yes.
Something new under the sun.
Okay.
But you can turn it off. So
Yeah, I just upgraded and it happened. So to me, yes. But I wasn't.
I'll find an article and stick it in the chat in a couple minutes here.
By setup, is that referencing every time you start your computer startup, or is that the first time?
That's when you're installing Tahoe.
Oh, when you're installing it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, good to know. And it may not be Tahoe. It may have happened before Tahoe. But yeah, it's interesting that they want that file vault turned on. Back in the day with hard drives, spindle hard drives, it used to slow things down quite a bit. But I know with today's fast SSDs, it doesn't slow things down anymore. Oh, Barbara, I see that hand. Go ahead if you have a question.
Yeah, related to that, I'm wondering if, Bob, if you know why they made a decision to do that. Isn't Firewall the one that if you lose the password, you're forever, uh, screwed, for lack of a better thing coming to mind? That, it's a real problem if you lose your password for that. Is that the feature, or is that something else I'm thinking of?
Are you asking me?
Yeah,
I have never used File Vault, and my knowledge about it is pretty close to zero.
I think, Barbara, what you might have been talking about is there's a couple things that are like that, like a recovery key, or if you lose that recovery key, then yes, you'll have a very difficult time recovering your archive. But I don't think that recovery key is related to File Vault per se. I think File Vault is an encryption and a security for your Mac, but I don't think that it is the same as that key that you can generate and then use to retrieve your files if ever needed. But if you lose that key, then yes, it is quite difficult.
yeah, I'd be really curious to know why they decided to do it by default, whether they had some sort of, problems that they think they need to add that as a security feature. I see you put a link in there, Bob. Thanks very much.
I've read a few articles, just two, about it, and they speculate that on the one hand, there's more concern by computer users that somebody, be they government or a corporation or something, will invade their computer and seize information. But even more of a concern for Apple might be the idea that in the past, the way the recovery code was set up was Apple somehow had it, but now it will be in the password keychain so that it's automatically there if you look it up in the password keychain or some other way. And it will automatically install itself every time you sign in to your computer. That will generate the password and everything will be de-encrypted for your use.
So was it saying that in effect, Apple is tired of being asked to divulge customers' private information, and they thought, we'll just put something in automatically so we can say we can't do it? Is that what you got from what you read?
Well, that Apple doesn't want to be in the middle for sure and having to pursue legal pursuits, so they just say, we can't help you there, sorry.
Okay, well, thanks, that's helpful.
I can put a couple of links in the chat if I can find them.
It's great.
I was hoping people knew even more.
I'll bet you if Al was here, he probably does, but
Yeah, this is Randy. I just looking at, and it says File Vault for me, I have to turn it on to click on it to turn on. So mine doesn't come on automatically.
are you on Tahoe?
Let me check.
Are you still on Sequoia?
Some of the reason why it was optional to begin with when it rolled out, it was optional to begin with because File Vault has a lot to do with indexing each individual file. And in previous operating systems, there was less indexing being done. And previously, most of our operating systems were installed on an HDD drive, an actual spinning drive. But now with these operating systems being so heavily indexed and they're running on solid state drives and not spindle drives, I think Apple would have had File Vault on by default in the beginning if they could have. but technical limitations kept them from keeping it on or having it on by default. Now I think we're seeing it turned on by default because we have the computing firepower in the background to allow it to run. What it used to do is when it first came out, if you didn't have the most powerful Mac, it would just slow it down for days, almost unusably slow it down for days because it had to index all those files. I think today in today's world, they're confident to turn it on at upgrade because everybody's Mac has so much processing power with the M chips and so much capability with indexing and stuff. So I think it's something Apple's always wanted to have on by default, but people's hardware would vary. But now the hardware is caught up with the software, and it's something they're just going to turn on, keep on.
And Bob, this is Randy answering your question. Bob, you hit the nail right on the head. No, I'm still at Sequoia 15.7 with the Tahoe 26 upgrade now ready. So thank you, Bob. You're absolutely
Yeah.
spot on.
So have
Right.
people upgraded to Tahoe? Do they have comments?
I have, and it did actually turn on by default for me, and I just turned it off.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm on Tahoe and I didn't turn it off. I didn't notice any difference, so I probably won't bother with turning it off. As long as it doesn't get in my way.
Ah,
Because back in the old days, a lot of Mac users would put, what do you call it? Never mind, I'm
Norton,
having a fart.
oh.
We understand.
All righty. Well, any further discussion on Firebolt? Any further statements, inquiries, declarations, or assumptions? Well,
How
Pete?
about any comments on the latest iPhone update with liquid crystals or whatever the strange new type is called?
Yeah, we've got that in this keynote deck that Al built.
Great.
He's going to have us walk through that stuff.
Well, I think you could. Oh, wait, we got a hand up. Barbara's got a hand up. Barbara.
I was curious if anybody has got the new Apple Watch, the 11, and what features there are on the 11. I've got a 6, which is still functioning mostly fine. But I'm just curious if anyone knows of any new features on the 11 that are particularly useful or not useful.
I think that Pete, are you going to cover the 11 in this? I thought there was a whole section on the Apple Watch.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a section on that in here too.
Right.
Great,
All
thanks, Pete.
Excellent. Well, anyone else? Very well. Pete, take her away.
All right. Well, thank you. Thanks for having me. So really sorry that Al couldn't make it. He's the backbone of these meetings. So I love having Al there. But I'm gonna do my best to pick up this keynote from Al and walk through it with you together. I'm not sure exactly what to expect from it. I did look through it and I'm familiar with most of the subject matter, but yeah, let's take a look and see what we've got. See, getting started here. News and rumors. We'll get started with that. At the iPhone event, we had announcements of all the things. We had the iPhone 17, the 17 Pro, the 17 Pro Max, the iPhone Air, AirPods 3, Apple Watch Series 11, Apple Watch SE, and Apple Watch Ultra 3. where all those products were refreshed and updated as announced by Tim Cook and team at the Apple event here recently. Let's see, overall of these products that were released, I was pleasantly surprised with updates to the iPhone Pro Max. That's my sweet spot. That's what I go with each year when it comes out. As part of the Apple iPhone upgrade program, I hand my old one in and I get the Pro Max, and mostly for the camera. I love to take pictures, and so that is why I stay in the Apple iPhone upgrade program, and each year I get the Pro Max for the camera capabilities. And so that's one thing that caught my eye. Another thing was I really like the AirPods 3, especially with some of the hearing assist features that they're now building into the AirPods. We'll talk a bit more about that here as we move on. Any questions or remarks about this litany of products that have been updated here at this Apple event? This, not 8 or 9 products we have here. Any remarks or anything to mention there? Okay, we'll move on to.
Well, I have a question. Beth has a question. On
Sure,
the
yeah.
watch, have they restored the O2, or is it a workaround? O2 saturation.
Oh yeah, the the blood oxygen
Oxygen,
sensor.
sorry. Yeah.
Yes, the blood oxygen sensors have been built into Apple Watches for a while now, but they have run into some conflict or controversy with another company. It is my understanding that the utility is fully restored and turned back on. As a matter of fact, I have the blood oxygen level meter here. I'm just going to run it right now to see if it is indeed functional and working. But yes, I believe I did it a couple days ago and it was working fine.
The
Yeah,
difference, Pete,
I've
is
been waiting for that before I upgrade my watch.
Pete. The difference is the way they got around uh, uh, the rulings was the computing is now done on the phone instead of in the watch.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, a
Okay.
little loophole.
Yep.
Barbara, I see that hand. Did you have something you want to add there?
Yeah, you were commenting that you like the Pro Max rather than the Pro for the camera. Could you talk briefly about what the differences are and how significant, what you think is really significant?
Yeah, now let me clarify that the Pro and the Pro Max have the same camera system each year. There is no difference between the Pro and the Pro Max other than the physical size of the screen.
Uh,
I prefer the larger screen. My wife gets the Pro. It's basically the exact same phone, but smaller form factor. So, yep,
okay.
you've got the Pro and the Pro Max. No difference in the camera system, and then just the screen size is the differentiator there.
And what's the
Longer
zoom?
battery?
Longer battery. Let's see. That varies year to year. Let's see. Usually it's a little bit longer, but it's negligible, the difference between the Pro Max and the Pro, because there's so much more screen to light up and stuff. So it just sort of, it's relative.
Okay.
You
Pete,
notice the chat.
what's the zoom capacity on the on this new 17? Do you know offhand?
Yeah, I have a screen like this, which is going to show us all the cameras that are included. I think it has something like 7 Pro lenses included now in the new one. It's pretty amazing. Here, let's take a look.
Hey, look at the chat.
Okay, let me look at the chat. Let's see. Chat.
We are not alone.
I
It
can.
says hello from Denmark.
Aha.
Oh, Ken.
And is in stealth mode. Okay, so this is the sort of overview of the iPhone Pro and Pro Max because the features are the same across both, other than the screen size, which you see the Max is 6.9 and the Pro 6.3. This is the 4X and 8X Fusion telephoto. You now have 8X optical zoom, and up to I think it's like 48X digital zoom. But they're boasting this lineup of lenses, which I really like. The language of the software has changed a bit. It used to be just near and far, telephoto, zoom or not zoom, whatever the case was. Here we have the actual corresponding lens, millimeters that you might find in regular photographic lenses, like the 13 millimeter, the 24, the 28, the 35, the 48, the 100, and the 200. I know as somebody who was a photography enthusiast, those numbers all sound familiar to me as lenses I might have carried in my kit. So not only is the Pro camera not only just better, but they're really catering to both still and videographer professionals. This particular camera has a lot of features built in that cater to pros. Yeah, okay, so let's see. We're starting at the top with the Pro line, the Pro and the Pro Max. And the camera is really the big story about the Pro and the Pro Max. The vapor chamber is interesting. It's basically liquid cooling the hardware with a vapor chamber inside. I'm curious to see how that translates into real life performance, but we'll see. And then the three finishes of the iPhone Pro Max are this gray, orange, and navy type of finishes you see there. I have friends in the industry who, they shoot video, and instead of going out and buying a pro camera, they bought, 6 iPhone Pro Max units to keep in their arsenal instead of a pro camera. That's interesting that they opted to buy 6 iPhones instead of 6 cameras, but they're compact, they're reliable, they're easy to use. They shoot in all the latest pro formats. They have a bunch of pro lenses sort of built in. It's quite a remarkable lineup for the Pro. And if you pair that with Apple's Final Cut Pro software, especially with the Final Cut Pro cameras, it's really a powerful ecosystem. So the pros are continuing to love what Apple is putting out. And me, not necessarily a videographer pro, but as an enthusiast, really like what they're doing by improving these lenses every year. Okay, let's see what is Al got next. Oh, so the iPhone Air was announced, and it is an interesting version of the iPhone. It doesn't have all the features of a Pro. In fact, it has far fewer camera features, but it has a really thin bezel and body until you get to the top, which I think is strange. It's all very thin until you get to the top, which has a thick camera bump. So I don't know, you're enjoying the novelty of this very thin phone, but not all the way through. And when you put a case on it, it's going to be thick again. I had a little bit of trouble figuring out exactly who this phone is for in terms of Apple's marketing here. It's nice, but once you have the phone and you put a case on it, I don't think it's much different than the regular iPhone. Okay, continuing to walk through the Apple event. Let's see, iPhone 17 versus 16, the new top tier compared. I don't know here's the comparison. This is kind of the 16, which we have now, and the 17, which was just released. You can see the spec comparisons there. Rear camera, 8X. Yeah, some notable differences there, some interesting stuff. Battery, Yeah, you're getting up to 33 hours now with the Pro 17, where you had 27 before with the 16. So every year they're always just going to get a little bit better. Okay, let's see. They're already saying that the 17 Pro can easily be scratched. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. I think all of these phones can easily be scratched. They're made of shiny metal, and shiny metal can be scratched by pretty much anything. Put a case on it. That's my advice is, yeah, just throw a case on it so it doesn't get scratched. Let's see, what else are they saying? More about scratching. Interesting. iPhone 17 may be an unexpected early hit for Apple. I think especially in India, there was some big progress in the markets with these price points. Here are the AirPod Pro 3, and just some cool things that they're building into these. One that I really am excited about is live translation. I don't know. I am not often in a situation where I need language translation. I'm not often in that situation. In fact, the last time I was in that situation, I was in a courthouse, and there was a Japanese man in front of me who did not speak English, who had a pocket knife on him, and the officers were all trying to explain to him that he could not bring the pocket knife in, but he didn't understand, and the situation was escalating. So I brought my phone out and I talked to him with the help of my phone, and I was able to help get the situation de-escalated. And that was years ago. So I haven't been in too many situations where I must have immediate translation urgently. You know, every situation varies, and if you are one who is in a situation, often whether you're a traveler and you find yourself on the soil of other countries, often where English is not the primary language, or if you are working with a group of people who speak a different language, or whatever the case is, now you get these live translations right in your earpiece, where people are talking to you. The earpiece is picking up what they're saying, translating it into your language, and playing it back in your ear. So you're able to hear live translations of what people are saying. Might be nice if you're out and about and people are speaking a different language. You could even, I suppose, eavesdrop on on the people who you did not understand by listening in with your AirPods on. But that's a really cool feature, in my opinion. The heart rate sensor is also pretty cool if you don't wear an Apple Watch and you want your heart rate monitored. Your AirPods can now provide that. Dust and water resistant. Hearing aid, I think, you know, these can be used as a hearing aid. There's lots more to read about that. If that's something that interests you, I highly recommend you go down that rabbit hole of what features and benefits the Apple AirPod Pro 3 bring in terms of listening aid, hearing aid type of thing. There's a lot of benefit to be had from the AirPods if you are somebody with limited hearing. So definitely look into that.
Quick
Okay,
question.
any remarks? Yeah, or questions? Yeah.
Does the translation function use a lot of electricity or, you know, power? Does it draw a lot and draw down the battery?
Yeah, good question. The translation function, or the live translation anyway, I believe is offloaded to the phone. The phone is doing those calculations and then handing them back to the device, but all seamlessly. You don't have to take your phone out. It is all just because they're connected to your phone, they're able to access your phone's hardware. And so, yeah, I think battery life is being boasted at still the same 8 hours, and with only, I think it's about 15 minutes back in the case, you get another 2 to 4 hours of battery life with only a 15-minute charge. So, yeah, I don't know if it runs the battery down faster. I do know that it offloads the calculations to your phone, but yeah, it still boasts a very long battery life. with those features. Okay, let's see what else. Aha, somebody asked about the watch. Here is the Series 11 Apple Watch. There are some new capabilities, like for instance, hypertension notifications. This is something new that over time the watch will be able to measure the pressure, not exactly give you a blood pressure reading, but it can identify patterns of behavior that are consistent with hypertension and can warn you of hypertension. So that is a new thing that they just rolled out with this latest update. But otherwise, there are some just otherwise small improvements to the Apple Watch. Gestures is another improvement where you'll be able to control the watch by moving your fingers a certain way. Some other small improvements, but for the most part, it's just their continuation of the series. I don't know about you all, but when I got my newest watch, instead of getting rid of the oldest one I had, I now alternate between them. Like when I get to bed, I'll put my day watch on the charger, but then take my night watch off and put it on. And I've been sleeping with a watch on at night and working with a watch on all day. But having it on at night has been very informative about my sleep routine and different things like that. And it's very interesting because the watch will monitor your sleep. It knows when it's like Santa Claus. It knows when you're sleeping. It knows when you're awake. It knows when you're up and about. It knows when you're back down, going to sleep. For me, after getting a couple of months of data in the health app, I was able to look through the health app and scroll through some of my history and data. And I started seeing that at 3 a.m. every night, I was awake at 3 a.m. for some reason. And come to find out, with just a little bit of investigation, there was an alarm in the house that was going off at that time. It was like on the stove or something downstairs in the kitchen. So I was able to identify that by using the sleep mode. And by just eliminating that alarm, I no longer have that waking spike at 3 o'clock anymore. So I don't know, little things like that have turned out to be very useful for me in tracking my sleep and understanding better how to get better quality sleep. Okay, let's see. A lot of watch users are out there, or I don't know, maybe it's easier to say who's not a watch user. Do people have Apple Watches and are they using them? I know the nerds have them, but what about just everyday life? Are we getting some use out of your Apple Watch in everyday life?
Mhm.
Good. Okay, let's see. What else we got here? Bird just saying, oh, the Apple Watch SE. SE is like a code for basic, and if you look at the iPhone SE or the Apple Watch SE, it's the most basic or most stripped down model. Okay, 249 entry level Apple Watch. Here's the SE. Basically the same new features as the previous one we just looked at. Yeah. Again, just a continuation of their successful Apple Watch series. Sleep apnea notifications, that's a big one. And then this is the Ultra 3. I have the Ultra 1. The Ultra 2 came out and I was like, ooh, I want that. And now here's the 3. It looks very cool. It has the 3D printed case or chassis. I think that's very cool. But yeah, a lot of basically the same features as all the other watches in the series, other than this has satellite communications and a very large display. So yeah, that's the Apple Watch Ultra. Let's see, what's this headline? Oh, the high blood pressure detection feature is now available. I know that there were going to be some FCC clearances or FDA clearances in order to get there. But yeah, it looks like it's active now. I'm going to go in my health app, as a matter of fact, and see if it's something that needs to be toggled on. I don't have it in my phone, and it's probably because I don't have a watch that has the sensor to read the hypertension notification. Anyway, it looks like they got through all the federal hurdles and stuff like that, and the high blood pressure detection will be available with the new watches. So iOS 26 across all platforms. Don't forget to update your Apple TV. Don't forget to update your MacBook Pro, your iPad, your phone, your watch. Get those all synced together with iOS 26. I'll be talking a little bit more about iOS 26 when we transition into my topic. We'll be talking about the 10 things you should check out if you've just upgraded from previous version to iOS 26. Let's see. Oh, and yeah, Ken, where in the world is Ken? I think I generated a QR code. Let me see. Yes, I put it on here. If you would like to follow Ken, you can shoot this QR code right now if you want, and that will bring up Ken's travel photo album, and you're able to have a look at what Ken has uploaded for his trip. So you can either do it by the link, and if you've already done that, if you've already used the link to go view his shared album, then no action needed at this time. But if you are curious to see Ken's photos, you can scan this QR code and it'll take you right to the site where he posts them.
Yeah, he's just a couple weeks into the trip and already has somewhere around 800 photos posted.
Yeah, let me see.
He can put the link in the chat also.
Yeah, here's what it looks like when you follow that link, whether you scan the QR code or whether you use the link in chat, you'll be able to scroll through and view all the photos that Ken has posted. You can click any of them to see it full screen, and you can download any of them using the download button here. But yeah, some very cool stuff. Wow.
Hmm.
Lots of cool things. Okay, so that is that. And I think that, oh no, we got a few more slides.
Is it true that Denmark will give that crown to the president to get on his good side?
Are you joking?
Yes, yes.
For more daily chatter about the Apple Tech universe, visit the Facebook page at this address here. Probably have a QR code for that too. And then what else? Look, I want to check out Al's setup. Wow, that's nice. Very cool. I think we need some more screens in there somewhere.
There's to the right, the start of that picture, there is another one on the lower level. I've been in his command center.
Oh, yeah, okay. Very cool. Okay, and then this was the last slide. It says back to you, Thomas. I guess this is where we would transition to me.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Carry on. You're doing such an excellent job.
All right. Well, iOS 13, iOS 26. Let me see. iOS 26. I have, let's see. Oh, is my phone still connected here? I have my phone, I think, connected where I can share from my phone. When we get to that point, so you can see how that screen works. Okay, very good. All right, iOS 26. First things first, iOS 26 received a paint job. That is the number one marquee feature of iOS 26 is Apple's marketing department will tell you that it's liquid glass and that your life is better because it's translucent and you can see things under the UI. I'm a little bit smirking about this paint job. Thank you for updating the paint on iOS 26. It's pretty cool, but I'm not all that impressed with the paint job. I think it's a much needed update, but at the end of the day, that's the only way I view it is a new paint job. It's just a new coat of paint on an already very reliable operating system. So that's the first thing you'll notice when you upgrade to iOS 26 is they're doing liquid glass now. So the UI elements are typically transparent and you can use, and they glisten as you move the phone around. For the Saturday workshop that's coming up, I'm going to go through all the ways to change those things if you want. I'm going to go through how to turn off the liquid glass animations. We're going to really spend quite a bit of time in the accessibility app. So I think that's coming up. The next Saturday workshop that's coming up. So I'll be there to walk you through accessibility functions. I think somebody mentioned it here on the last meeting where we'll do the triple tap on the back of the phone to take a screenshot or to launch ChatGPT. We'll be going through and looking at how to customize all those kind of mysterious things like the screen magnifier and that kind of thing. So be there. But yeah, first things first about iOS 26 is just the new liquid glass style. It's more modern, it's more translucent, it's very cool. But to me, that's just the cost of doing business. You have to keep your OS looking fresh and operating quickly. So good job, Apple. Nice paint job. I'm not all that impressed as a feature, but I'm glad I'm glad it got done. And that paint job is consistent. I have upgraded all of my devices, Apple TV, iPads, iPhone, Mac, and they all look consistent. It looks nice across all of the different devices. So nice job on the paint job. Then I want to move on, unless there's any questions about the paint job or anything like that, but I want to move on to number 2 on my list, which is Apple Intelligence, or in other words, Apple's AI offerings. And let's just break it down. We'll just go through a brief explanation of where we are today in terms of AI on our iPhones. And it's a little bit nuanced. So let's drop in for just a moment here and unpack this. There are a bunch of AI properties out there that are competing for your attention and your money. The most popular one in my travels, the most popular AI product that people are talking about is large language models. Large language models are the tip of the spear for AI right now in terms of what consumers are talking about. And large language model means, the chat. Like ChatGPT, you get into a chat and that chat is about a topic and you can have multiple running chats. So you have ChatGPT as one competing brand. Google's Gemini is now another competing brand where it behaves just like ChatGPT. You can have a chat with it, you can ask it questions. XAI, X formerly known as Twitter, XAI has their own AI large language model. They call it Grok. There's Perplexity, there's Claude, there's lots of other AI properties that are popping up out there, competing for your money and your attention. Now, all of these independent properties, like OpenAI's ChatGPT or xAI's Grok or Google's Gemini, they're all competing brands. It really reminds me of search engines back in the day. We went through this revolution once, I don't know how long ago it was, 25 years ago or maybe longer, 30 years ago. We went through this revolution. We saw Netscape and we saw Internet Explorer and we saw Firefox and Opera and Safari. There were all of these different branded windows to the internet, and each different one wanted you to use theirs. Opera wanted you to use Opera. Firefox wanted you to use Firefox. Google Chrome wants you to use Google Chrome. Apple wants you to use Safari. This very same thing is happening now with AI offerings. AI is this big world, and these windows into that big world, windows like ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, it's just like browsers back in the day. All of those properties will function fine on any one of your devices, whether it's your iPhone, iPad, your Mac, your iMac. All of those competing properties will function just fine on any one of your devices. The reason for this is that the AI calculations that are being done for all of these competing properties are all done in the cloud, or they're all done on that company's server. So for instance, if you're using ChatGPT, every time you ask it a question, all of that interaction is taking place on OpenAI's server farm. You're taking a little touch of their server for the moment, it's processing your question, and it's sending it back to you. So all of these AIs operate that way, whether it's ChatGPT or xAI's Grok, or whether it's Google's Gemini, they all function on the server. They don't put that load on your hardware because it's simply too much. It's too many calculations per second. In fact, there's a new term, a new acronym called TOPS, TOPS, TOPS. TOPS, that acronym was created to measure AI calculations. TOPS stands for trillions of operations per second. Trillions per second. I don't know if you know what a trillion is. I don't. But I don't know if you know what a trillion is. It's a whole bunch of something. A trillion is a ridiculous amount. A trillion is a billion billions, I think. It's just hard to even fathom. But trillions of operations per second, or TOPS, is what they calculate AI computing in, is TOPS. So your hardware, your iPhone, your iPad, your MacBook Pro, your iMac, none of it would even be able to handle what AI is doing. AI has, ChatGPT has to send that back to the server, it processes, and then comes back down to you. So if you're thinking in terms of like, well, if I'm a Mac user or if I'm an iPhone user, am I getting ripped off in terms of AI? Because Apple's not real forthcoming with AI. I'll explain that part in a moment. But I want to explain to you, no, that every consumer like you can opt into ChatGPT or Google Gemini. You can opt into it really with any browser. Now, luckily, there are apps on our phones and our iPads. You can go get the ChatGPT app. You can go get the Grok app or the Gemini app. And those apps will make it easier and more fun to use the AI, but you can access them right from a browser if you wanted to. So that's external AI properties that anybody can go shop for. You or anybody else can go get ChatGPT right now if you want it. You can go get Grok if you want it. You can go get Google Gemini if you want it. And it'll run on any device. Now, what companies are doing is they're building AI into their device. That's not this. We're talking about two separate things. We're talking about device that you grab off the shelf. You decide you want ChatGPT, you go grab the app and you start using it. That's one thing. But then the manufacturer of your device, like Apple in our case, building AI into the device, that's a whole different story. Now let's talk about that for a minute. And again, you're unlimited in the choices you can make in terms of services that are offered. You can go get ChatGPT, you can go get Gemini and all that. But in terms of what's built into your device, this is where we start talking about iOS 26 and what AI features it has built in to the operating system itself that you can take advantage of. So that's what I want to talk about next. Earlier, somebody stated, doesn't Apple make you get sort of like get permission to go talk to ChatGPT? This is where things can get very confusing. Yes, Apple partnered with OpenAI. OpenAI is the parent company of ChatGPT. OpenAI, Apple has partnered with them and said, we want you to be the AI for us. This is Apple talking to OpenAI. Hey, OpenAI, we want you to be the AI for us, for our operating system. We want you to be our AI. So OpenAI said, okay, so what? Do you want ChatGPT to replace Siri? Which I think is a pretty good idea. But no, Apple said, no, I don't want to replace Siri. We're going to keep Siri, but can Siri talk to ChatGPT? And OpenAI said, well, of course, if that's what you want.
Sorry, Pete. I don't see a chat in your
There's
contacts.
Siri.
Okay.
Siri, stop. So in this meeting between Apple and OpenAI, Apple says, can you be our on-device AI? And OpenAI says, sure, we can. Do you want us to replace Siri? And Apple says, no, do not replace Siri. We'll use it with Siri. So now if you want to use Siri to access ChatGPT, you can.
I found some web results. I can show them if you ask
Siri,
me
stop.
on your iPhone.
But you have to ask Siri to ask ChatGPT something. It's a really clunky implementation. It doesn't work well at all, in my opinion. And I'm highly disappointed in the way Apple has implemented this. But you hear my Siri device back here. If I say something to it like, Siri, ask ChatGPT what the average weight of a giraffe is.
The average weight of an adult male giraffe is 2,628 pounds, and the average weight of an adult female giraffe is 1,825 pounds. This answer is from Wikipedia. For any medical advice, consult your doctor. For more, say open this on iPhone.
And it isn't important that you hear all of that particularly, but what was important was that I had to ask Siri to ask ChatGPT something. I can't just have AI at the front. I have to have AI embedded, and then I have to ask Siri to invoke it. Why? Because Apple doesn't own their own AI model, or if they do, it isn't strong enough to compete yet. AI models are very difficult to build. OpenAI does have an AI model. And that's why they have ChatGPT. XAI does have their AI model. That's why they have Grok. Google has their AI model. They have Gemini. So either Apple's going to stay in this middle ground of AI where you can't use AI unless you ask Siri to ask ChatGPT, or they're going to figure it out another way. I really hope they figure it out another way, but the time is drawing nigh. They're really going to have to get up to speed with this AI thing in a hurry, in my opinion. Now, in terms of how we can access AI on our devices with iOS 26, I'm going to show you how to do that in the limited ways that we can with iOS 26. So let me show you how we do that in the limited ways that we can. I'm going to try to share my phone screen here. Okay, share screen. Okay, there's my phone home screen. You can see iOS 26 icons and the new paint job. I am going to open an app on my phone called Image Playground or just Playground. You should have an app called Playground like I do. It was installed in a previous version of iOS, and it is one of the ways we access AI in iOS. Oh, thank you, Darian. A trillion is a 1 with 12 zeros. It equals 1,000 billions or a million millions. Wow. Yeah, I'll just accept a fraction of that as payment. A small fraction. Okay. Does anybody have any remarks about Playground? Like, hey, I don't see it, dang it, or yeah, I see that thing, I've used it before, or what? Anybody not see it or feel like they should see it but they don't? I see that hand, Pete.
I just had a question about what you just said on how did you know that Siri answered? Siri didn't answer that. It sounded like Siri when I asked Siri a question.
Yeah, Siri does answer, but she reads what ChatGPT gives her.
Oh, okay. It's built in.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's built
thank you.
in, but it's a handoff, which I think is weird. It's a third party, which I'd rather be connected right with the AI and not have the third party, but yeah, you
I'm,
see what I mean?
I'm glad you know the answer because it sounded the same as what Siri would tell me.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it does a disclaimer afterwards. Every time ChatGPT provides the answer, it'll say, the answers aren't always right. Please check for accuracy or something. But yeah. Okay. All right. A few things about AI Playground. Playground is an app that's on your device. When you open it, you have a button that allows you to start a new image. You see the new image button there down at the bottom. What Playground allows you to do, I'm going to go ahead and click on new image. It allows you to generate an image using AI and what your device knows. So you can use AI and what your device knows. The first thing is you will select the type of image you would like to create. So you see there's this little flyout menu towards the top. It says, would you like an animation, an illustration, a sketch, a Genmoji, or an image created by ChatGPT? So you see I have these 5 options in the Playground app where I can access. I'm just going to leave it on animation and I'm going to say Pete. So I'm going to start with me as one of the things, and then I'm going to add a hamburger in here. Hamburger. So the 2 criteria for creating this image right now are Pete and hamburger. Let's see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't turn me into a hamburger. Here we go. So now it's creating an image of, passively me with a hamburger. This is Image Playground. I'm using AI to create this image. I can just click on the image and save it or copy it or share it. There are suggestions below in the Playground app where you can click these buttons. Here's one that says happy. So I'll add happy to the list. You're basically just combining different things to create an image using Playground. And once I added happy, he's really excited about that hamburger. But yeah, this is a way to create images. If you haven't played with it, I would check it out. It's kind of fun. However, I think it's a fairly poor showing for AI from a company like Apple. I think they should have done something much better than this. But, and these are my coworkers, like a lot of times they'll do a great job or help me out, and I want to say that they're superheroes for helping me. So I put their image in here and then I say superhero, and then I'll send this over to Gloria and say, thank you, you're a superhero, or send this to MJ and say, thank you, you're a superhero. So it is fun. Image Playground is fun. I suggest you get in there and play with it. Now, in terms of AI on device, I would like to show you a couple of other ways that it can be accessed and utilized. I'm going to open the email here, my email app, and you can see this is the MacNexus email that comes out. Not to pick on the authors of this email, but you can see up at the top there is a summarize button that is provided by AI. And that summarize button will give me a brief synopsis, if I click it, a brief synopsis of the email, so I don't have to go through and read the whole thing. I'm able to get that summary right up there at the top. See there? Now I'm going to reply to this email and just take a look at this reply. I'll reply here to Nexus Info, and I have a new icon on the screen there. You'll see the little cluster of icons that have appeared just above the keyboard. There's the double A's. There's the little AI writing icon. There's a paperclip, and then there's the markup. If I click on the AI writing icon, I can have it write a professional or friendly or concise response. Respond to Bob. So now, as you can see, it's passing to ChatGPT, but it has just done the email for me. It says, thank you for the reminder and the detailed update. I'll plan to join the general meeting. Appreciate the info and links included, very helpful. It wrote that reply for me. AI did that. So just pointing out that there are ways that your device accesses AI on the fly, and that is in different various ways, like the image playground or the email helping you write a response. Or if you've written a response, you can use the writing tools to reread or proofread the response and give you suggestions of places where maybe it didn't sound, maybe you could sound more professional. It'll tell you things like that. So. Yeah. Okay. Any questions about that at all? Okay, well, I'm going to leave you with on the AI thing. I'm going to say I really wish Apple was doing a better job with their implementation of AI. I know that they were just at the beginning of this wild ride, but I'm quite disappointed with the way Apple is showing up when it comes to AI. So. Okay, another one is another feature I just wanted to show is that if you're in a call, you can have live translations turned on for phone calls. You would call somebody, and then in the call, you can tell it that you are an English speaker and you're calling, I don't know, a restaurant in Paris to make reservations. And your phone will handle the translation. It'll both translate what they're saying to English for you and translate what you're saying to French for them. So that feature is built into the phone app in iOS 26. Wonder if I can show that.
Is that dependent on what generation of phone one has?
No, that should not be dependent on your generation. I believe it is a function of the software of iOS 26.
Doesn't the phone have to be able to have AI though?
I don't think so. I don't think that's a function of AI because we already have a translation app built into the phone. I think it's just now calling on that translation API. So no, I don't think it's necessarily a feature of AI. Okay. Another fun one is that in Apple Music, there is now something called Auto Mix. So if you do have a playlist and you are playing music in your playlist, it will it will stitch the music together in a pleasant way. Unlike the traditional wait until the end of the song, hear a 2 second, or don't hear anything for 2 seconds and then resume the song. This now mixes the songs together before they end, so you have a more dynamic listening experience. That's called auto mix in Apple Music. Okay, let's talk a bit more about, there is another cool visual intelligence thing I'd like to do here. What I'm going to do is just open Yelp. I'm going to go to any restaurant. And let's see, in this restaurant, I'm going to go to the photos. And I'm going to screenshot this. So you may observe, you'll see a little flash, but I'm just going to screenshot this. Screenshots used to be dumb, but now screenshots are smart. If you look at the bottom of my screenshot interface here, you will see new AI functions at the bottom there, both ask and search. So for ask, I'm just going to click on ask and I'm going to say, what is this? Unless we crash, let's see. On ask. Oh no, it's not going to work. Let me see. Glitching, and I don't know if that's because of iOS 26 or because I'm on Zoom on the phone, but it isn't doing what is expected. In the screenshot there, you can see I've just taken a screenshot of something. I have an ask button in the lower left corner. If I click that, ChatGPT will pop up and I can say, hey, what is this? And then in the lower right corner, I have a search. Now the ask button is not working for whatever reason. It just, everything disappears when I click the ask button. But the search button does work. I'm going to click the search button so you can see it'll actually search for photos that match what you took a screenshot of. So if you have anything on your screen and you want to take a screenshot of it and ask questions of AI, you can easily do that. Or if whatever you're looking at on the screen is in another language, you can screenshot it and ask for a translation if you want to do that, or a sign. Let's see. I'm going to put sign in Italian. See if we can come up with an Italian sign. Yeah, like this sign here. I'm going to screenshot that sign. I just took a screenshot of it. And I'm going to ask for a translation here. I'm going to highlight this and ask for that to be translated. So you can see here it'll translate the sign into English. But it's a little glitchy. But anyway, screenshots. You know how to do it. You hold down or you click at the same time the volume up and the sleep button. You click those at the same time. And if you've upgraded to iOS 26, you'll see new features like you see on my screen down at the bottom for your screenshot, where you can ask questions of ChatGPT or you can search the web for whatever you're seeing there. Some big enhancements for the screenshot tool. So be sure to check that out.
Pete, how do you highlight on a phone though? It says highlight to search or whatever.
You would just use your finger. You can highlight, like if there's a certain part of the image you want to ask about, you can just circle it with your finger or scribble on it with your finger in order to highlight that area.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Sure. So yeah, that's visual intelligence inside of screenshots. I highly recommend you check that out. Okay, messages. Messages got some upgrades here. So I'm going to go into the messages app here. And I see a message from Ken. Very cool. Hello from Denmark. I don't want to disturb my roommates, so I'm watching for a short time on YouTube Live. Cool. So this is a conversation between me and Ken. Well, there is a new feature here where if I click on Ken's profile picture at the top of our chat, you see I'm in my chat here with Ken. If I click on his picture at the top, it opens up this info screen. And one of the options up here is backgrounds. You can see it goes info and backgrounds. I'm going to go in backgrounds and I can go and choose a color. Let's say maybe there's a particular color I want to choose for Ken and I. I'll go ahead and choose this orange and click the check mark. Now, my text message thread with Ken has this interesting orange background, which is actually moving. You can see it's sort of moving around back there. Now, when you do this feature, and I'll go over it again for those of you who want to follow, when you do this feature, it also changes for the other person. So Ken right now, if he were to open our chat, he would see this orange backdrop. Orange is the new orange. He would see this backdrop. Just like if I go to my chat with my son, we have the sky. If I were to change it, he would see those changes there. So you can go and make the background for any chat, any color. Let's go over how to do that again. I'm going to go, let's see, into this chat here with my friend. Oh no, I already did that one. Go into this chat here with my friend Troy. And I'm going to click his icon. Now, the first thing you have to do is enter the chat with the person that you want to change the background with. So I'm in my chat with Troy here. You can see Troy up at the top of the screen there. And I'm in my text message thread in the Messages app with Troy. What I'm going to do is tap his icon at the top, tap right on his face, and you'll see the screen will change. I now see my Troy info. And if you're following along with me, you'll see his picture at the top and the words Troy H. Then you'll see three icons, and right under that, you'll see info and backgrounds. Info and backgrounds. So if I go into backgrounds, I can use any of these. There's a bunch of suggestions down here, but I can basically use any of these to be the new background. I think I'll choose this one here. And so now Troy and I have this new dynamic background on our chat. So yeah, that is just one of the features that was that the Messages app got. I'll do another one. For this one, I'm going to make a group chat. I'm going to make a group chat with Al. I'm going to add Bob to that group chat. And just for the heck of it, I'll add Ken to that group chat. Now that I've created a group chat here, you can see if I click on the plus button to the left of my message bubble, the little plus button to the left of my message bubble, I now have a new thing in here called polls. Polls, polls. Let me show you that. There it is. You see that? In my list of things that I can add to this text, one of them is polls. And I get there by clicking the little plus to the left of the text message bubble. I click that and you see polls. Now with polls, I can say, what kind of pizza do we want? What kind of pizza do we want? And then I'm going to put Hawaiian, which nobody ever wants, but I do. Pepperoni. Oh, Bob is yelling at me. Hawaiian pepperoni and Greek pizza. I'm going to click send. And now inside my group chat, Bob, Ken, myself will have to vote. Oh, look, Bob just voted on Hawaii. Yay, Bob is going to join me with Hawaiian pizza. Finally, somebody will eat Hawaiian pizza with me. I'm going to pick Hawaiian. So now Bob and I have both picked it. You see our little pictures appear on that option. And then people can add a choice if they want. If Bob wants to be a rebel, he can hit add choice and put, I want, some margarita pizza. So that's another new feature, 2 new things. And wait, let me change my group chat background here. Let's change it to a photo. It's probably one of, there we go, nice foliage photo like that. There, now our group chat has a nice background and we've got a poll going. Again, that's the plus next to the text field and you'll see it says polls right there. That's the way
I
that-
already have it.
Perfect.
So fast. By the way, I did not, when I voted, I didn't have to hit return it. When I tapped on Hawaiian, you got it immediately.
Yeah, it popped up in real time.
Armin's got a question there.
Yes, go ahead.
When you tapped on Troy's face and retrieved that info about him, did that come from contacts?
Good question. Let's see, when I tap that face, no. Well, yes, some of the info does come from contacts. I'll just go back to Troy. Yes, some of the info does come from contacts. It's pulling from contacts there. It's pulling his phone number and pulling his address in case I want to map him. But that's about it. That's about the only info it pulls from contacts. The rest is going to be photos and other things you've exchanged with that person.
So if you don't have his home address, only a phone number, that's all that would pop up.
Exactly. Yep. Yep. And there's a little important panel here that while we're here, we might as well look at it. It has hide alerts. This is convenient sometimes when you have like a work group chat that keeps going after work hours and you don't want to pay attention to it. You can hide the alerts. That way you don't see them pop up. You can still go to the group chat, but you won't see a bunch of alerts pop up. Send read receipts. That's another big one. That tells the other person that you've opened and read their message. So I like to keep those on. I like when people know that I've seen their message. I've read it. So yeah, just a couple, and then automatically translate. That's another one that if you have somebody that you're texting with that speaks a different language, obviously you'd want to have that automatically translate on. Okay, let's see, we do have some time. So I don't know who still plays games on their device, but there's a new games area of your phone, and you can see it's a whole dedicated app called Games. So I'm just going to open mine. It's called Games, and once you're in there, your phone will change to game mode if it has it. The latest hardware has something called game mode where it frees up all the resources and dedicates them to your game. So if you are playing an intense game, you'll get great performance since it goes to game mode. But yeah, in this app, you can play games. You can look up other people's, it's called, you can look up other people's gamer ID and you can play against them. It's fun with casual little games. You can see here I have friends who play certain games and it'll show me what games they're playing and I can go and join them and stuff. So anyway, it's a new app called Games that launched with iOS 26. If you are a gamer, you'll see some things in there that'll interest you, and you'll have a new game mode where when you launch your game, it's dedicating cycles to that game so it does not slow down. Okay, maps improvements. I like maps improvements. There's some good stuff going on with maps. One thing that the new Maps app does that I really like is it remembers wherever you go. Every place you go is now going to get stored in the Maps app. Now, you may have alarm bells hearing that. That may be your first response is like, whoa, 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 hold on, wait a minute. It's going to record everywhere I go. And the answer is yes. It will now show, let me see, and I'm looking for the exact entry where you can see, let's see, recents. Yeah, I guess it's just there. It'll show all of your destinations, all of the places that I've gone. So that is interesting because all the places you go are stored, and it's kind of nice because you can look up the places you've been on a map. And what I like about that is if you go somewhere and you know you've been there before and you want to see, hey, is this a place I've been before? Have I ever, just the other night, I was at a restaurant. I didn't realize I had been there before. And I pulled up my Yelp and it turns out I had checked in there years earlier. So it was just an interesting memory that came up that way. But anyway, it now records every destination. So everywhere you go, you'll have a history of all the places you've gone. You can go back through if there was a place that you liked and find it in your history. Good stuff.
This is regardless of whether you did a search on the address. It's regardless of that. You don't have to have done a search of the address in order for it to record where you.
No. Yep, that's a good point. Yep, regardless of whether you searched it or not, when you get somewhere, it's going to put a pin in the map saying that you've been there. That's where you. And it already does a version of that now, because everywhere you go, it puts a pin in the map for your parked car. It'll say, if you want to know where your car is parked, you can always look in the Maps app. It's really just taking that a step further and then just remembering that location. Okay, and then for destinations, there is a new look when you open up any destination. So I just happened to open up this park near my house. There's a new look to this this thing where you can scroll through and see a bunch of info about that particular destination. You also can choose your route. And now there are a few things that are a bit different or new and updated here. I'm not sure when they added it in. It was in the last couple of iOSs, but there is, once you click on directions to somewhere, you can now change it to, I want to go now or I want to go at another time. Like if I want to be there tomorrow at 9 a.m., I can punch that in here. I can say, I want to arrive at 9 a.m. It's going to look at traffic patterns and let you know when the best time to leave is, right? So if I punch that in, I want to say, oh, I said leave at 9 a.m. Let me put arrive by 9 a.m. So I put arrive by 9 a.m. It's telling me that that's going to take 7 minutes based on predicted traffic and that I should leave at 8:53. So it's nice that you can punch in when you want to go somewhere, when you want to arrive, and it'll tell you based on traffic for that particular time of day when you should go and how long it'll take to get there. Okay, and also, I don't know about where you live, but where I live, there's lots of ways to get somewhere, and Maps only ever picks the shortest route. It doesn't understand preferential routes until now. Now it will understand the routes you take and it will start to change its recommendations to you based on the routes that you take. So that's now built into Maps. And so instead of it always just picking the shortest route somewhere, it's now going to accept influence from your patterns and yeah, that way. Okay, then the wallet app. There's my driver's license. I have it in the app, in the wallet app. You can see here there's a bunch of cards in my wallet, mostly credit cards and stuff. But the driver's license is now and I forget what states. I don't know if anybody has a link they want to drop in the chat. But this is now valid for me. If I'm driving and I get pulled over in the state of Georgia, you can now show this digital ID. Or if I'm headed to the airport and I want to check in, I can now use my digital ID. So that's an enhancement to the wallet app. And then the last thing I wanted to mention about iOS 26 is security. They actually built in something to the charging port, which makes it so it's protecting you now from malicious data theft. It used to be that if you plugged your phone into an unknown charger and then that charger was hooked up to a data port of some kind, or somebody had some way to extract your data, that there was some chance that they might be able to. Now, somebody getting a phone call.
Hello there.
Oh, did we mute that person? Okay.
I muted him.
Okay, perfect.
It was either Bev or
Not me. My audio was already muted. But I do have a question, Pete.
Yes, I'm going to pause. I'm going to pause now and take Q&A and just discuss any of those things that we discussed there.
On maps, you said that it can locate your car. Do you have to have like CarPlay enabled? Because I don't have CarPlay.
Not necessarily CarPlay, but at least Bluetooth. Like your car, your phone has to be connected to your car via Bluetooth.
Okay.
And most people do that just so they can hear the audio through their phone or whatever. But yeah, as long as you're connected via Bluetooth, it'll put a pin in the map when you park somewhere.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, Mary, I see that. Yeah.
So if you make those changes on your text messages and the recipient is an Android user, will they see it? Or is it only iPhone to iPhone?
Only iPhone to iPhone. You're talking about the background customization and the polling. Yeah, that's only iPhone to iPhone.
And Cheryl has a question in the chat.
yeah, Cheryl has a question for you.
Oh yeah. 15 Pro and updated iOS 18. How do I get to iOS 26? Yeah, in settings in general and then software update, you'll see that iOS 18 is an option, but down at the bottom of that screen, once you go into settings, general, and then software update, the bottom of that screen, you should see upgrade to iOS 26. My wife had the same thing. She's like, look, it's saying that I'm all updated. And I said, oh no, look down below. And then down there was the button you can press to get iOS 26.
Same here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, Ken was not able to take advantage of the text message background colors or the poll because since he's traveling, mission critical stuff going on, he's probably not upgrading until he gets home. So yeah, he was not able to see that because the other users will have to have had iOS 26 installed in order for that to work.
He was trying to arrange to get his American version phone delivered to him in, I think, Oslo when he gets there in Norway. I don't know if he was successful in getting that arranged, but he was working on that.
I see.
Yeah, but tonight he wanted to vote for pepperoni.
We don't know for sure. I think he's a pineapple and ham Hawaiian. See. Okay, what else you got? Any other questions? Look, my opinion overall is this was a relatively lackluster update. If you love paint jobs, then you're going to love it. There's a lot of new places for paint. a lot of interesting user interface elements that are see-through now that weren't before. A couple of feature benefits, but not very many. I'm looking for a bigger leap. I want big changes, you know. This operating system is roughly the same as it was 10 or 15 years ago. Has it been 15 years? And I just think big changes are needed. So if you upgrade it, great. It should be very stable and reliable, and there isn't a lot of new stuff to play with. But if you join us for the Saturday workshop coming up, we're going to go into accessibility. We're going to set your phone up to do things that it normally that you weren't expecting that it can do. And that's going to be a fun one. So stay tuned for that one. But
Birdie
If
raised,
the-
raised her
oh,
hand.
yes.
Hi. The other day I was looking through photos, not iPhotos, and there's a new concept besides adjust and filters. And to the side, on the right-hand side, you can erase or retouch. When did that start happening?
I believe that was the last iOS, the last Photos upgrade. AI provided the horsepower to be able to just sort of draw your finger on a fire hydrant, let's say, in the background, and it'll erase it. So yeah, that was the last iOS. This is the second version that has been in, and it is quite nice. There's also a little button in the upper right that makes your photo like a live photo. It'll make it so you can move it around and see a little bit of animation.
Oh, I missed that one. It's just kind of fun to play around and see what you can do.
Yes.
Something new.
Yeah, it's when you open any photo in the upper right, you'll now see a very tiny little scenery icon, little cube. It's very high in the upper right hand corner of the photo. But when you click that, it makes your photo like a 3D, kind of makes the photo pop. Interesting. But that was another upgrade to iOS 26.
Ken answered the question about the phone.
Oh, and the pepperoni too. Yep.
I'll go farther
Oh, yeah.
down.
Yep, I see that. Hmm.
Question?
Yes, go ahead.
When you
Then
say,
Randy has a question also.
oh, sorry.
No,
Was
go
Randy
ahead.
first?
Oh, whoever, that's,
All right, this is Elaine. I just wanted to know what you meant when you talk about paint. What do you mean exactly?
Yeah, by paint job, I mean like, for instance, just on the lock screen itself, the time is now in this ice type of treatment. It's icy. You can see through it. It's transparent or translucent, I would say. In other places, like for instance, they changed the app icons. Like the clock icon is very different than it used to be. The camera icon is very different than it used to be. Mail, phone, messages. So by new paint job, I just mean they went through and made some things translucent, changed the color of other things, changed the app icons, just sort of a refresh or a new paint job or an update, figure of speech type of thing. But yeah, it mostly just cosmetic, maybe is a better term than paint job, but mostly just cosmetic updates and nothing too functional, like for instance, iPad OS 26, they brought the ability to resize windows any size you want and have as many of them open as you want. That's the kind of functionality upgrade. I prefer that over the sort of design kind of updates. I like functionality updates.
to oversimplify, I would say, think of it like painting your house. The paint job, you put a different color, but the house is still the same,
Yeah,
function wise.
it's a good one. Yeah. All right, Randy, I think you had one.
Sure. Anything new or expected or just came out on iPads, preferably maybe 13-inch black or dark keyboard.
I'm looking to upgrade one myself. I love my iPad Pro. It's my favorite piece of kit. It is not unusual for Apple to do several different events leading up to the holidays. In the past, we've seen them do a separate iPad event to announce iPads. So I am not giving up hope yet. I think that we'll likely see an October event where they announce new iPads. They just did a pretty big iPad overhaul and update about a year ago, so we probably won't see any major form factor updates, but I'm hoping to see some hardware acceleration bumps and stuff.
Great, thanks.
Okay, well, if there's nothing else, I will let you get to your raffle. Finally, for once, I left some time to do it and not gone over my allotted time. So, yeah, thank you very much for having me. Tune in to the Saturday workshop for digging into your phone and sussing out all of those features that bring some utility to your phone through accessibility. So we'll see you later for that. And I thank you for having me and enjoy the rest of the meeting. Good luck in the raffle.
Thank you so
You
much,
too.
Thank
Pete.
you. Thanks.
Appreciate you a
Bye-bye.
lot.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Oops.
Very well. I have, well, we have 38 now, Mary. Am I not correct? And
37, somebody's got
oh, okay.
37
37.
attendees.
Okay. So, Siri, you here? I hope she's here.
She's in Georgia.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right, so I'm gonna do two 25s, one with the 1 to 37, correct?
Is it just two? 225s? I can't.
I was thinking 220, I thought it was 225s and one 100.
I'll double check, but let's go ahead with the first two for sure while I'm checking.
Gotcha, thank you so much. Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 37. Siri? Dadgummit, you were working recently. You piece of... I just used it today. Hello, Siri? All right, well... What the hey?
No, it's four.
Oh, it's 4. Okay.
425 and 100.
Oh, okay. Okay, talk to Siri. Yes, it's on. Hey, Siri. Oh, good. Give me a random number between 1 and 37. It is 7. Oh,
That's Carlos Miranda.
where's my camera? Right there. 7. Hey. And Siri, give me a Siri. Hello. Come on, lovey. Hey, Siri. Oh, I have to say, hey, Siri. Give me a random number between 1 and 37. 23.
Karen Owen.
And hey, Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 37. And this one would be 9.
Carol Dobrowiak, if I'm...
Yes, you said that perfectly. Thank you.
Oh, the yeah.
Well, thank you.
Hey, Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 37. 23. Did we have 23 already?
Yeah.
We did.
Okay. Hey, Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 37. 12. It would be 12 this time.
Darian.
All righty. That would be 4 for the 25. Am I not correct? Look at
You
that.
are
He
correct.
can count. Lucky man. This would be one call for $100. Big drum roll. Oh no, I'm so nervous. Hey Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 37.
No.
One
Oh,
and,
excuse me. Is that incorrect, Bob?
Oh, wait a minute. No, yeah.
no, that's right.
That's
Oh,
right. Never mind.
okay.
I'm
Ah.
sorry.
We changed the rules and, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and as he said it, I thought about
Yeah.
that would be 29.
29 is Pete Donna, if I'm saying that.
Okay. And that would be it for our raffle. Am I not
Mhm.
correct? 'Cause
Thank
we
you very
changed it.
much.
Oh, thank you.
Our elder statesman.
All righty. Well, it was a great meet.
Oh, I was going to say, on getting your things, I will get this information to Lisa tomorrow. I don't want to disturb her tonight. And she will get the things out either tomorrow or the next day, okay? And if you don't hear back, let me know and I'll work with her, okay?
And please give her our regards.
Yeah,
Thank you.
she's doing well, but she'll be here soon, I think. Anyway.
All righty. Well, anyone have any else they'd love to say? It was a great meeting. And of course, don't forget, we have the In-Face live meetup tomorrow at the Limelight. So please attend if you can. And of course, we will have our workshop on the first Saturday of next month. If there's nothing else,
Thomas,
will,
hang on one sec.
Yes. That you, Ken? That sounds like
Yes,
Ken.
when you quit the Zoom, it'll pop up and it'll have a chat thing. Excuse me. If you can just forward that to Al, because then he can get any links that were in the chat to him.
Okay, so I will have to figure that out, but I got it. Okay.
Yeah, when you quit
Perfect.
the Zoom, it'll automatically come up with a small text. It'll say chat and it'll say text. And
Okay.
it's only the two. I think the only thing are the two links I sent. So
All righty. Perfect.
no
What
problem.
time? I'm sorry.
What?
What time is the meetup tomorrow?
11:30.
Okay, maybe not this time, but someday.
Yeah, please. It's fun.
Meet people in person. Oh, what a shock.
Yep.
A new habit. All
Thank
right.
you.
With no further ado, I will adjourn this meeting. I thank you all, and I will see you soon. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Oh, absolutely.